influences nyo? Kahit sino, kahit local or international.
Hi, I'm Kay again. Thank you for having us. So, I guess my vocal inspirations are like Aurora, Joji, Audrey Luna. It's very westernized, but it's a lot of very ethereal, chill kind of, a little bit of R&B, you know, that kind of stuff. That's nice.
Hello po, good afternoon. Sa akin po, local of course, pares kami ni Trisha. Si Casey, Miss Casey Tandingan. Sobrang idol ko siya, one of my inspirations. And lately, mas nakikinig ako kay Ariana and Janae Aiko. Like, I've been listening to Ariana non-stop.
Oh my God,
So,
yeah.
yes, yun po.
Hi. For me, I tend to be more like indie rock leaning. I would say my influences definitely stem from like Mitski, early Off Montreal, Charlie Bliss, Carsey Headrest, The Strokes, Weezer, Japanese as well. I think Japanese music played a huge role in my writing and just my palette in general. So I love Spitz, Nico Touches the Walls. I also like a bit of city pop, Odoki Taiko, people like that. So yeah, those are my general influences. But I also actually really like a couple of OPM artists as well. I think there's this band, I think they call, is it Forest Spades. I actually listen to Forest quite a bit. So yeah, Philippines has amazing music as well. And I'm trying to explore more, if anything. Yeah.
Hello po, my name is Maren Carmel po. Local influences ko po si Laris Lantangan. And this is funny kasi hindi ko po alam na you worked with Moira before. So, nung sinusulat po namin yung Wish the Light to Tell Me, yung reference po, yung track na nilagay ko doon, actually, yung track na pinroduce po ni Sir Jonathan. So, sabi niya, pinroduce ko to. So natuwa po ako nung sobra. Sino pa po ba? Si Augustua, Jess Connolly. Sa overseas po, si Nikki from Indonesia. I would say Leon Lahavas, Emily King, a lot of like R&B soul songwriters. I also listen to a lot of Bruno Major, Eloise, Lizzie McAlpine, Carol 80s. People who really like write as if parang nagkikwento lang, ganun lang po. So like nagjo-journal lang po sila. Tapos it's like taking a page out of their diary and reading it out to the person in front of you. So yun po yung mga inspiration ko.
Hello po, good afternoon. Ako po si Trisha, Denise, and my musical influences are, to keep it simple, Ed Sheeran. I started to play the guitar because of Ed Sheeran, and also the way I write songs is mainly inspired by Tori Kenny as well. For local acts here in the Philippines, Casey Tandingan and Kyle.
Yes! We love it. O, diba? We love the versatility. We love the range. We love the range of artists. Ayan. But Sandon, do you have another question for everybody? Or
Yeah, okay na yun. In fairness, ang ganda ng kanta, no? Very relaxing talaga. At sabi na no, ng message dito, di ba, na may significant role talaga no, sa, you know, sa panahon ngayon. So, syempre, yung kanta ninyo ay may purpose talaga. And congratulations yung lahat. Good noon.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for your question. Let's get to a next question coming from an anonymous sender. Anonymous.
Wow, secret.
Secret nga talaga siya. Anonymous yung nakalagay. But the question is, what about this project actually made you very excited to join this project? So anybody can answer.
Are you married?
So I mean, apart from my connection with mental health, of course, I was really excited kasi this was the first time that I was working on something cross-cultural. So, kasi I grew up, I was born in the Philippines, but I grew up in Singapore, So I saw it as kind of like a way for me to get in touch with my roots. But also, because of this project, I was able to perform for my family for the first time, which really meant a lot to me. So yeah, dun po ako na-excite kasi it's not often that I get to speak Tagalog or like even be around like artists who like speak my mother tongue. So I am getting to know a lot about other people, but also a lot about myself and my heritage. And yeah, it really means a lot to me, way more than like words can explain, and also way more than like it's way bigger than the project lah for me. Yeah.
Oh, it's like bigger than just, the music. It's also what it means to you, which I love to hear too. Yeah, how about the others? Does anybody else want to share what this project means to them?
For me, it's really about spreading awareness. Because when I was younger, I really felt alone and I didn't have anyone. So I feel like we all want to make people feel that they're not alone and you are loved. Ganun ba? Para I want to spread awareness kasi I knew the feeling. I know how the feeling na nag-struggle ka and feeling mo mag-isa ka. So it's really about
That's true. And I think this EP can definitely remind us of that, that sometimes we do feel alone, but we're really not. And we have an EP that will remind us of that, all of the feelings that we go through. Thank you so much to Anonymous for that question. But next up, we do have questions coming from Charmy Joy Pagulong from the Philippine Star. So actually, we'll be reading this out. Just for everybody, what is your safe place? And what does it mean? How important is it to have a safe space for your mental health? So maybe we can start off from Kiri and then just follow everybody.
Hello, okay, thank you for the question. So, personally for me, there's a few places that are really safe for me. There's like a place, and then there are people, and then what I do for myself. So, my safest place, if it's a place, it is my room because it is decorated however I want it to be decorated. It is the place I can have messy sometimes, or it helps me to organize myself. It is a physical projection of my mental state. So that's really safe for me. And then I think the most important place that is safe for me is in the arms of my friends, because and even these friends here, it's my first time in the Philippines, and it's also my first time traveling without my family. So I'm really so happy to have all of them, and also the locals, to show me what they have, and also Sir Jonathan for the amazing opportunity to perform it. So yeah, so this is also very new for me. It can get somewhat scary, but I'm glad that I have them because I can share my emotions, my feelings, my thoughts, and I don't get judged for it. So really, they provide a safe place for me. Yeah, so that's what it means to me. And then finally, sorry, my answer's a bit long. Finally, mentally, my safe place is in my trusty notebook, where my lyrics, but I was in a rush to fly here because we had a concert right before we flew here. So I didn't bring my book, but I write it in my it has my lyrics, it has my poems, and it has all of my thoughts. So it's very safe.
Yes. My safe place is anywhere as long as I'm with my dog.
Yes.
I love my dog so much. Sobrang, whenever I'm with my dog, parang I'm just always happy. Kasi my dog is a French Bulldog. So we all know how French Bulldog looks like. So every time I wake up, parang natatawa na lang ako sa face niya. So parang whenever I cry, he comforts me. As in, hindi siya umaalis sa tabi ko. And of course, yung isa kong safe place is music. Malaking tulong sa akin yung music, lalo na nung times na feeling ko mag-isa ako. Andyan lagi yung music. Up until now, syempre, every day, I always sing. And actually, me and Coco G, we were bandmates for I don't know how many years.
We've known each other for more than 10 years now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so, together, yun talaga yung ginawa namin. Nandiyan lang yung music for us. So, ayun ang safety ko. My dog, Henry. And of course, music. So, yun.
Cute.
Hi. For me, my safe place is in songwriting. In my own personal life and in many other ways, I have to play various roles. And when you take on the responsibility of certain roles, you're not really always able to express a lot of yourself. And for me, songwriting is a way for me to process emotions, process situations, and I just pour everything into it. So, my craft is really my safe place. And that's why I kind of like really write a lot of very vulnerable things to the point where I'm kind of low-key exposing myself sometimes. I think that's the beauty of songwriting, is that it really gives you a safe place to really channel everything that you can't in your day-to-day life. And I think, as people in general, and in particular for people dealing with mental health or just in general mental wellness, I think curating a safe place and a safe space for yourself is important, because as much as, yes, we can rely on other resources, yes, we can rely on friends and family, to some extent, at some point, we have to be self-sufficient as well. And I think that comes in making that safe place, whatever it means to the person. So yeah, that's my answer.
Hello po. My safe place po is anywhere that I can express my boundaries, that I'm respected. Basically anywhere where I can feel comfortable as myself po. It can be my room, the library, or anywhere with like my friends and family. Basta alam ko po na I can be myself and that I can be accepted as myself. Then that would be my safe place po.
Hello po. Ako si Trisha. Please. Actually, we've been asked this question before, and my answer always is my family, because I'm an introvert and wala akong ganong friends. But for the first time, I can say sa media ko na to na I have friends.
No.
I wanna cry.
Oh,
Them for me, them for me. And I have my safe place here. So, I don't have that much friends. So, I'm happy to have them and be a part of this project.
Although I want to cry also. I also want to cry. But it's okay. We can all cry. This is a safe place. Diba, guys? This is a safe place for everybody. So, thank you so much, Denise, for being so honest as well. I'm happy that you also found a safe place throughout this project, which, I think obviously has made it a very meaningful project for everybody. But I'm also curious to hear from Sir John, Sir Rox, what are your safe places? Di po kayo makakatakas sa akin.
Then you're trying to wrap up the question. Yes, I will not answer the question. Okay, I'm included pala.
Of course.
My safe place, obviously, I will say music, of course, but I need not to elaborate on that. But music, I just need when I'm looking for a place where I can just escape and be alone. I can just escape and be alone and just lie down on the floor around my vinyl collection.
Yes.
the CDs, the vinyls, all the music collection that I have, I just feel good. Being communing with really great music around me, listening to it, appreciating the beauty of music. That's my safe place. But of course, a deeper safe place for me would be a prayer, because prayer connects us to God. So of course, God is the ultimate safe place. So a prayer is the way you connect to God and tell Him of your pain, your anxiety, if you're in a dark place, you just connect through a prayer and the light will come. So, yeah, prayer is like my safe place because it gives me hope and it connects me to God.
Last but not least, Sir Vox.
Wow! Actually, sinabi na ni John lahat ng sinabi. So, hindi ko elaborate din. So, ako siguro ang safe place ko lang talaga din siguro yung music, yung rap, and syempre yung faith ko kay Lord. Yun lang.
Wow, short but sweet. Love it. Love it. But I love that we all have our own personal safe places, right? I mean, that's really what it is, where we find comfort and where we can find, inner peace. I think that's very important for all of us to have. So thank you so much, Charmy Joy Pagulong, for your question. Next, we have a question coming from Kapamilya Online World. So anybody can answer. Besides the EP My Safe Place, which songs can you recommend for someone who's going through something or feeling like they're not in a safe place? So what are some of your favorite songs? Anybody can suggest or anybody can answer.
Firstly, this is like the first thing that pops up into my head. I Know a Place by Muna.
Oh.
So it's about going to a safe place. Like, I know a place we can go, and then forget the rest of the lyrics. But it's a really, really good anthem. And if you are in an unsafe place, the song basically talks about how just hold on, you can get there eventually. Yeah.
I have something as well that really came to mind. I'm a huge fan of animated shows and series, and there's this one on Netflix that I really connected with called Centaur World. It's a musical-based animated series, and the main theme song called Rider's Lullaby, literally it goes like, you're okay, you're alright, I'll never ever leave your side, I will stay and I will fight with you. So like, it's literally such a comfort song. I think that entire series actually has so many songs that really touch on really encouraging words, and I think it's great. And songs from that show are great. Yeah, that's what I recommend.
I have a favorite song. Yeah, so this song is actually the song that I play to sleep to when I'm having like a really tough time. And sometimes when we have a tough time into the night, we get sleepless nights. So this song is called By Your Pose by Zabawa. It is so angelic. It feels like you're dreaming. It's like pink flowers, it's like rainbows, it's a beautiful place, it's so gentle at the same time, and it speaks of like words coming from somewhere that's telling you don't have to speak, I get it, because I'm right here, and then close your eyes, you're gonna be alright. It's so beautiful. If you haven't listened to it,
There you go, you guys. We have a lot of recommendations if you're looking for tracks, of course, to help you. But of course, My Safe Place, the EP, also will serve as a safe place for everybody. So make sure to add those songs to your playlist as well. But we also have another question coming from Kapamilya Online World. Since the EP My Safe Place supports mental health, what can you advise to someone who wants to advocate also for mental health but isn't sure where to start? So anybody can answer as well.
maybe I'll start. Yeah, so I think as long as you're reaching out to somebody and already helping them with their lives, even if it's as small as like helping friends or your family, I think that is already advocacy because you are supporting someone else. And then from that, slowly on, you could reach out to more people, if not just your friends, to also people you may not know. It could be by the use of social media or, you know, through your school or even something like that. Everyone, as long as they're doing their part to help somebody else through their tough times, I think that is advocacy. So.
I actually agree with what Kiri said. You know, advocacy is in small steps. It doesn't have to be actually, fun fact about our My Safe Place EP as well. It's not just a project for mental health and, you know, just an EP itself. part of the digital stream revenues will be going to nonprofit organizations both in Singapore and the Philippines. So for the Philippines, we're actually going to be working with Batay Bata because we felt that was a very relevant organization that can really, can really benefit from what we're doing. And in Singapore, we're working with Comchest to donate to Samaritans of Singapore and Shanyo Counseling Center. So really, even in these small steps, you can already be contributing to something much bigger, and you don't have to announce to the world that you're doing like this. While you're, listening to the EP in your safe place, you're also contributing to other people's safe places. But again, as what Kiri said, advocacy doesn't have to be loud as long as you're really, doing small actions for what you really believe in. That's more than enough.
Yes, that's totally true. Oh, go ahead, Trisha, Denise.
For me, the world is busy. We all have our own struggles. We have a lot of problems and we go to work. But it's good to listen to other people, of course, be their friend. But it starts within you. So be there for yourself first so that you can give to others. So be kind to yourself and you can be kind to other people. That's
the smallest thing, that talk to your friends. Don't wait for them to message you, diba? You just, siguro every 2 weeks, check up on your friends. Kasi sometimes we don't want to burden other people. That's why we don't open up to them. Pero if parang simulan mo na, you talk to them, you just listen to them, it makes a big difference. You don't need to give advice naman eh. As long as you listen. Makikinig ka lang, that's what's important.
For me po, I think what really helps also is to destigmatize yung mental health journeys ng mga tao. Especially, I don't know about you guys, but like when I grew up, a part of the reason why I felt that it was really hard for me to reach out for help was because I was scared of what people were gonna say.
Yeah.
So I feel like in normal conversations, casual conversations, if you see that someone has an opinion about mental health or like getting help and going to therapy that might not be helpful, then you can also just let them know and educate them about how these things are actually things that work for people who need them. Yeah, so destigmatizing definitely helps, because then once you convince this one person and they're educated, then they can also help you spread the same kind of message, and then you'd never know like how much that would help like another person in the future.
Actually, borrowing from that point as well, one thing about destigmatization, I feel like once you start having that conversation, it transcends generations as well. I think, while we as youths, I feel like our generation is starting to open up a lot more when it comes to casually talking about mental health. I feel like us doing so, we can also try our best to help other generations before us, because we know that we come from cultures where such conversations don't come up with them, but they are also people who need it the most. So I think having these gentle starts from us and then transcending to the generations before can really lead to even more helpful change for people who really need it, essentially. Start with uncle, your parents, grandparents even.
Yeah, that's so true. I feel like it should start on, an interpersonal level. You don't have to go like really big right away. Obviously, small steps add up to a bigger step that will definitely, make an impact in the future. So that's great advice coming from the girls as well. But next up, we have a question coming from Roger Serna.